What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we spot the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? We got the full squad today, so we have Chris Abacon.
What's going on, everybody?
And Daniel Acevedo.
Let's get it going, guys.
What's going on? So, if you have not already heard the rigmarole, Monday and Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursdays Ask a CISSP. Last week I had on Rebecca Skeet. She's the COO of Black Girls Hack. Very good interview. And then the next Ask a CISSP will be Miguel Clark. He is a friend of the show. He's been on before with Aisha Hollins for the Making It Make Sense podcast, so definitely check that one out as well. And then Fridays, everything else. That's what this is: movies, books, games, all that good stuff. But without further ado, I give it to Shannon. How was your week?
Man, it was okay. I won't complain. Came back after vacation, and I was like, man, I was at work for a little bit, and I like my job, everybody. I want that to be said, but I was like, man, I'm ready for the weekend already, right? Like I think I just wasn't ready to come back yet. You know, I was enjoying myself, but it was a shorter week anyway because I had taken the day of leave last week, but I was ready for the weekend to be here. But when it came to media watching, not so much. I watched. So Ryan, I started watching that My Adventures with Superman. Is that the name of it? The one on Max?
Yes. Yeah,
so
I haven't watched this season yet.
Okay. Yeah, it's 2 seasons. Yeah, but it's okay. Like the first one, it got me. I was like, oh man, like the way they did the origin and everything. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. It's a little different. And I can see why you like it a little bit, man, because it's got that anime feel to it. You know what I mean? Right. When you watch it, and you're just like, oh, okay, they got some stuff in here that's like, I could expect to see that elsewhere. You know what I mean? But it's okay. I'm like 5 episodes in, and I'm like, some episodes better than others, but I think I might be able to get through the first season and be like, okay, because at the end of the first season, it's probably going to be something that I'm like, all right, I'm going to the second.
Yeah, I think it has a pretty good hook.
Yeah, so started watching that, and then I watched this Netflix movie called A Family Affair. Like I didn't even hear anything about it, but it's got Zac Efron, Nicole Kidman, Kathy Bates is in it.
Okay.
The girl that was, it was like all these celebrities in it that I was just like, what in the world? Like some of the other people, like one of the girls my wife recognized, she was like, oh, she's from, it was one of the shows she watches, you know what I mean? She was like, oh man, they got a lot of people in here that are just, you know, I guess Netflix is trying to follow the Apple TV model, right? Just put a bunch of stars in it, right? And people will watch. It started out good. Like I watched it because in the trailer, it seemed like they had something in there that made me laugh, right? So Zac Efron's in a car singing, and he's turned into what turns out to be his assistant, and he's like, "Where the f were you?" You know what I mean? So I was like, "Okay, I like the way that's going." But it turned more into a romantic thing, and I was like, "Boo!" You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I wanted the comedy, right? Like I either want the action or I want the comedy, and I thought that's what I was going to get more of, and it started out that way, and it was like, Some people will love it. Like my wife loved it. Like my first sign that I shouldn't have watched it was I actually went by it. Like I was scrolling by it, and my wife was like, "Wow, that's kind of cool," and she wanted to watch it. That should have been my first sign. I was like, "All right, I ain't gonna like it. I am not gonna like this." Like I love my wife. I'm in love with my wife, but our movie and TV show choices are not aligned. Like it's not. So I should have known then. That should have been my first tell. But I was like, yeah, I'll watch. You know, I want to spend some time with you. We spent time together all day, but yeah, let's spend some more, right? Let's sit down and watch this. But yeah, it was okay, just okay. It still had comedic moments throughout, but it started off really funny, and it was crazy because one of my coworkers had sent me a clip, and I didn't. Like he sent me a clip. There was a scene that I laughed at when he sent it to me, but he didn't specify where it came from. As the movie progressed, it came to a part, and like out of nowhere, I was sitting there watching it with my wife, and I think I scared her. I was like, "That's what that's from," and she was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Look at this," and I started to show her the clip that he had sent me. It texted it to me, and she was like, "All right, I don't want to watch it anymore." She said, "It's funny. I like it. I don't watch it anymore." But it was from the movie. It was a scene that sent me from the movie that made me laugh, but I didn't realize it. Because Zac Efron and Nicole Kidman, the scene that they were in the video he sent me was so short, I didn't even realize it was them. And then I was like, oh, like it hadn't even got to that point yet, but I was like, oh, I know what's coming up just by what I saw. But that's pretty much it. I was actually just watching a little more local news this week too, but nothing crazy. Didn't take in any games, which I'm getting. I don't even know why I have them on the hard drive anymore at this point, right? It's just like I just taking up space, right? But I mean, I have the space, right? Because I'm just watching apps that I stream stuff off of. My PS5 is just my streaming device, right? I'm watching my Hulu, my Amazon, my Disney, and all that off of it. But
I've never used it for streaming, by the way.
Oh, really?
I know a lot of people do because of Apple TV. I have an Apple box,
smart
right?
TV
I
or
used,
smart
I
TV.
used that way back in the day, like PS4. I think I used my PS4.
Yeah,
back then.
it was until this generation because I
Yeah.
got the Apple TV through the cable company. It was free, and
Yeah.
I've just been paying ever since. But
A lot
I
of
digress.
TVs
I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
I've
TVs
never
have the smart TV
downloaded
stuff
one
into it.
app or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel, what were you saying? Oh, my bad.
I said no, like Chris was saying as well. Like, yeah, most of the smart TVs now have all the apps built into it, or you can download them. So, yeah.
So I do. So I do have. I think I have all smart TVs now. I think my last one that was a non-smart TV has it actually finally broken, and I think they're all smart TVs now. But for the one that I have on my big TV, yeah, I'm using because Sony does a pretty good job of updating those too, right? So like,
Yeah,
it
as we
does
say, it's
pretty well.
more horsepower than a television would have.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, no, it's pretty much my streaming device. So like, if I look at the storage on it, it's probably got like all this storage for like games and data and stuff like that, and it's like the apps is so small, and I'm like, I should just get rid of some of these games. But until there's other games that I need to put on there or play, I'm fine right now. You know what I mean? I can just keep them on there, but I still haven't finished Horizon. I still haven't done the God of War DLC. Like, there's stuff on there that I'm like, I tell myself I'm going to do it, but I'm probably not at this point. I'm so far.
Just try that God of War. I'm telling you, it's a
I
dopamine
know.
hit. Every run, you be like, yeah, I can do better.
Yeah,
I can go further.
maybe, but yeah, but that was pretty much it for me though. Chris, what'd you end up doing, man? How was your week?
I mean, so you said local news. I've been on the local news game for a while now. I just think me being, it's Tampa, St. Pete local now, I guess. I mean, living in Florida this long, I think it's good to watch local news. Because one, they'll have information on like local events on local news or like things that are going to happen this weekend or the next weekend. So I'm a big promoter on local news. Additionally, it also provides visibility on like local elections, right? So if you're not, if you hate politics, at least national politics, I think best practices are to, just at least pay attention to your local politics because that's where you can get the most, value for money for your vote. These people actually affect your roads, your state taxes, zoning, right? So just anyway, PSA aside, I think local news is awesome. On the streaming side, right? So funny you mentioned the smart devices because I've got a smaller TV, a TCL that we really like, but I just downloaded Crunchyroll onto that thing, right? So Crunchyroll, as you know, if you're familiar with Crunchyroll, I used to be a Funimation watcher way back in the day, but they've merged, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's awesome now. So I mean, I like that you can have both Japanese Japanese subtitle or with English subtitles or English dub. But yeah, I started watching started training arc, the Demon Slayer. So I kind of wanted to give myself more episodes before I started watching that. So I'm hearing that the animation in the next few episodes is going to be incredible. I think Demon Slayer has not disappointed me with that. So really looking forward to it. Right? And then I was like, once this is done, what else should I watch? Should I go over like Tokyo Ghoul again? Or should I watch some of these obscure Gundams that I haven't seen in a long time?
It's too many.
Like maybe there's so many, but I love the Gundams. Like each of them has their own storyline. Their formula that I love, like the 52-ish episodes, right? Yeah. There's some like crazy stuff that happens right at episode 26, right? That's like breaks the entire universe, right? You guys like remember that with Code Geass where everything just goes crazy. That first. But yeah, I was thinking about that, but then like, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but I remember G Gundam. back in the day. It's
Yep.
the only Gundam
That's
where they had like martial arts integrated
Yeah.
into their
yeah.
into using, and I'm like, you know what? That is probably like top three for me. And I know people in anime and the forums they don't like G Gundam, but I'm like, this is awesome. And there's so many memes with G Gundam. It's great. The burning finger. Just remember that. But anyway,
Vaguely.
yeah, yeah, I love G Gundam, but yeah. So that's kind of been my light on TV, just kind of local news here and there. Light on some, just catching up on some anime. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Very light week. Nothing else. I mean, for me personally, I've been running a lot recently. I've been trying to get back into racing, like league races. So I'm not sure if I can run 10K at the end of the year, or maybe do a Gasparilla half marathon next
Yeah.
year, which is in
Nice.
February, right?
On
So,
purpose?
um, yeah, on purpose.
Yeah, Chris
Okay.
used to run like
Yeah.
100 miles a month, like not
I
not
used
even
to,
being uh
I,
like literal
Damn.
100 miles a month.
yeah,
That's
100 miles
good.
a month used to be like my back when I was first age. Like I got into
Wow.
running like hardcore, but you were surrounded by people that are like just hardcore runners, so it was a cool environment.
Yeah, plus
Yeah,
you're
we
on
did.
Bayshore, so everybody has to show out on Bayshore. Like
Oh
Chris is
yeah,
running out. Bayshore
Yeah.
is the longest contiguous sidewalk in
yeah.
the U.S. Right? It's like what is it, 10 miles? You see Chris running
Something
down Bayshore with no shirt on. You're like,
back in the
get out of here,
day. That
Chris.
was back in the day, man. I'm trying to get back to the semblance of that. It's like you don't run long distances for a while. You just don't. It's really taxing,
Yeah.
especially as you get older. It's just like
Yep.
you can't recover as quickly, you know.
Mm.
But yeah, those are kind of my projects. Dan, what you got?
I buckle up. No, yeah, I had a
Yeah, let's
it was
hear
a
it.
it was a long week. So the first week I got to Japan, I was doing great, and then week 2 through week 4, I had really bad stomach problems, so I wound up going to the doctor, and I gave him my symptoms, and the doctor's like, we need to do an endoscopy. Like, I don't know, yeah, you could have it's probably an ulcer, but we need it to make sure. So I've got that scheduled for next Friday. So definitely, I feel like that's a check mark. I'm definitely getting older. So um, I don't know how much fun that's gonna be, but yeah, I got to do that. But they gave me
You
like ulcer medicine, and like after the 5th day of taking it, I feel amazing again. So I'm pretty sure it's probably an ulcer, knock on wood, nothing else. But yeah, it's pointing to that. What were you
Yes, I
saying?
was gonna say it's not that bad because I've been there. Like the scope,
Yeah.
like they give you Twilight or they put you out.
Yep.
You'll
They're
be
gonna.
yeah,
Luckily,
you'll be okay.
I'm like really sensitive to to like that type of medicine, so I know they're gonna give it to me, and I'm just gonna like start counting, and I'm just gonna pass out. So I'm
Happy
good.
juice. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
I'm all
so
about it.
what's crazy is I had one as well for GERD, right? And so like they put you in Twilight, but you're probably not going to remember it. Like my wife was just telling me stuff I was saying. Like I was going back and forth with this nurse that was a Steelers fan, and my wife was like, "You don't remember saying any of this?" Because me being a Ravens fan, right? She's like, "You don't remember saying any of this?" I was like, "No, no, 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 no." Because
You're just
like
smack talking her like,
yeah,
With a
okay,
camera
Keith,
down your
I'm taking
throat.
care of you right now.
I don't need
it
your
was
help.
funny. Like, but you're in Twilight. Like you're not completely
Mhm.
out. My wife was like, "You were never out. Like just
Thank you.
out." So
I'll be by myself with my translator because it's in a Japanese hospital, and yeah, because I'm not gonna drag my wife and kid out there. It's they have to drive up to take the train up to Tokyo that day. So I was like, it's okay, I'll figure it out. I'll be by myself, hopefully knock on wood. I'm not like in Twilight too long and I can come to, but yeah, I'll get through it. Besides that, we're finally gonna move into the house probably a week and a half from now, but it's been rough because I'm not a GS or military, so I can't go through the housing office on base. So the real estate agents here, they're used to dealing with the housing office, so they're not giving me a lease like they would give a military member or a government employee. Luckily, my wife's Japanese, so they're going to give me a Japanese lease, but they don't want to take my money. Like I can't give them cash. I they won't take I can't use my bank account, so I'm having to like move my money from one bank to the Navy Fed here locally, and then do a wire transfer to my wife's banking account. Luckily, I was able to move everything over the last couple of days. That now I'm gonna do the wire transfer to my wife's account so that they can take the money, because they won't start the lease or do any of the paperwork until they can actually take the money first. Once they verify that, then we can actually do everything. So, long story short, it's taken like 2 weeks just to do that, or a week and a half to do that. So now we can finally like move into our new home. But luckily, my household goods come in July 1st. Yeah, pretty much. I was like, can I just? I was literally like, this is ridiculous. I told the lady, can I not? I have the money. Can I not just give you cash? Like, why won't you just take my money? She's like, sorry, we can't. It's not how we do things here. I love Japan for a lot of reasons, but they are very black and white and by the rules. And even if it's a good idea, if you tell them, hey, can we do this? Like, they'll hear the good idea, but since they're manager and like it's not part of the process, they'll literally have like an aneurysm. They're like, they don't know what to do with themselves. It's like, sorry, we can't do that. I can't. I was like, take it easy. Don't die on me. Like, it's fine. It's fine. I'll get the money to you guys.
But here's the thing. The thing with Asian cultures, though, is that if they hear a good idea, though, they're going to act on it, right? Like, it may not benefit you, but the people coming behind you, they'll be like, hey, we had this good idea that came up. Let's change the rules and make it happen. Because, like, those Asian cultures are just like, hey, let's do it to prove it can be done, and let's do it efficiently. You know what I mean?
Yep. So we're all happy, man, like to move in the house. And then on the more fun side of the house, I new season of The Boys. I don't know if you guys watch it, but it's not for everybody. I'm
caught up. It's episode 5. I was like, what is going on?
Did 5 or 6 come out? I'm actually literally about to hit the Amazon app. 5. I think there's one that I haven't watched, so the last one. But yeah, I don't know, like the season started and like the first episode, I don't know why I wasn't feeling it. And then episode 5, you're right.
Because it's slow.
Yeah, but then now I'm all about it. So watching that, House of Dragon. I wasn't a big Game of Thrones watcher because I for some idiotic reason, like I watched the first couple seasons, but I was trying to read the books too. And I read up to the 3rd book, and then I started the 4th book, and I was like, I fucking hate how this guy writes. Like, my bad for cursing, but like I just hate how this dude writes. He like writes in a way that's complicated for no reason on purpose. I don't know if it's to make himself feel smarter or whatever, but I was like, I can't do this. And it just like ruined the show for me. I was like, I don't want to watch Game of Thrones. But when House of Dragon came out, I was like, you know what? I'll give it a try. It's got what's this guy's name? English actor that used to be Doctor Who.
I know you're talking about. Yeah. Oh man.
It's not Matt Stone, it's the other one. Yes. And a couple other actors. I was like, oh, I'll give it a try. And then I liked the first season a lot, and the second season's been the first 2 episodes have been pretty good. So
I'm not surprised you hated Feast of Crows, because like that's really where I think that George R. R. Martin writes himself in the corner. You know, I think he wrote too many characters. There's too many plot lines going on, and that's why.
That's the thing. And I just kept on going. I had like,
there's no way. I
was reading the book, and I had a website up to like remember who the fuck was who, and I was like, I can't do this.
That's
like,
too much.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm studying right now. Like I was like,
it's crazy. You're studying an entire ecosystem of people. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's not easy to follow. Like if you made it in a way where it's malleable or like it was just really good for the reader, but it's not. It's the opposite. It's like you hate yourself, but you're invested, so you want to like get to the end. And
you'll never finish.
Hate yourself for watching it.
For watching it, for reading the book.
It's like
for reading the book
yourself.
Yeah. And yeah.
So
I
didn't watch season 2 yet. So you say it's pretty good?
There's only 2 episodes, and I had to go do a recap because it was a while since I'd watched it, and then
that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, watch a recap because I was like, why are they upset with each other again? And like, who's the son of who? And then I watched the recap, and then I started watching it again, and I was like, okay, now I remember everybody. And I'm like, I hate these people.
I am a big hater of how the original series ended, and they actually haven't started this new show just because I hated it so much. So
you don't even have to worry about it. Yeah.
No,
you don't have to worry about it.
No, at all. And it's good. I like it.
So can somebody watching that has never seen Game of Thrones, can they start watching the show?
Yep. Yeah, you could.
Yeah, absolutely. Brand new because it's in the past, so brand new characters and all that good stuff. Yeah,
you'll miss some of the Easter egg stuff or some of the like,
right,
but like that's not even that important.
Okay,
and But funny thing on the anime thing, my wife obviously she's Japanese. She never, grew up here her whole life, never watched anime, wasn't like a big thing for her. And I like obviously watch too much anime, like unhealthy amounts for a normal person. But we were dating, we were living together. She never watched, and I never asked her to watch with me, but I would watch. And then over time, like she like really got into it now with me, and we'll watch like anime together. It's like one of our things that we do together. So it's kind of cute. It's a nice like bonding thing. Obviously, she can just
She doesn't even need
watch.
subtitles. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. She cheats. But yeah. Yeah. Just a funny little side thing there. Yeah, which because I thought it would be more of a thing she liked. I don't know why I'm pointing. She's not even here. 'Cause she's in the other room. Uh, yeah, I thought it would be more of a thing that she would either like or dislike, but it kind of like brought us closer together afterwards after marriage. Anyway, Ryan, we'll talk too much. How was your week?
No, it's good. Good. People like this. Like this episode gets listened to a lot more than some of the other ones. Was crazy to me.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're trying to hit 500 subs. We're danger close. Please help us to hit that number, and then 1,000 by the end of the year is the goal. Numbers are up. Like last month was real heavy. This month is kind of more of a slow burn. This is more of an average month. But last month, for whatever reason, was like 2.5 times traffic. I don't understand where it's coming from. I don't get it. I need to be able to harness this power so I can make it happen every month. But like every now and then, we'll just have a month where we just peak crazy. It's just like, I don't know what happened, but thank you. But it brought a lot of subs with it. So just keep doing that. That's great. Please like, share, subscribe. Please leave comments. I'm starting to get better at replying to them. I'm still not great, but I'm working on it. And yeah, we definitely appreciate you guys listening to us. So definitely keep that going. As for my week, actually I got a lot of media in. It's kind of crazy. So work was pretty good. I'm having fun at work. Let's making time fly. I'm working on a project that's kind of within my wheelhouse. So you know what I mean? Like when you're doing something you really enjoy, it doesn't feel like work. So I'm really digging that. And then I host a webinar. So I did a webinar for Computer Coach. So it's a local organization. I met them, their leadership during the CyberX in Tampa. It happens annually. They just did their mid-year. I missed it because your boy needs a haircut. All right. So my barber took a 2-week vacation on me. So that's why I'm looking super scruffy because I got to wait for him to come back. So he's going to hit me up on July 3rd, just in time for the holiday. But I just wasn't looking sharp. So I was like, I can't go to this mixer. I'm looking dusty. But I did the webinar, and this one was on basically pathways and getting into cybersecurity. I thought it went pretty well. I'm always bad at it. I have to listen to it to make sure I was good because I feel like I ramble, right? I have slides to guide me, and then I go off on tangents. So hopefully it came out well. People seem to enjoy it. There wasn't any drop off, so that's always good. Sign that you keep people engaged. But I'm liking it. Like, so I started this year off saying I want to do at least one of these a quarter. I've done like one of these a month. So be careful what you wish for. But I'm having a great time. So definitely, as soon as that's published on their blog, I will make sure I share it on the newsletter. As for media consumption, so I'm rewatching the first season of House of Dragons with my wife because she didn't watch the first season. She really seems to like it. So then we'll get into season 2 once we get through it. We're at the fight at the Stepstones. So he just wrapped up that fight. Okay. So I think we're like halfway through it or whatever. Mm-hmm. She hasn't got to the real good part. Like wait to the end. It's going to shock her. Really, I think it's a really good show. And yeah, you don't need to have a lot of information from the first series, but yeah, you'll miss Easter eggs. Like there's some certain set pieces and certain, because you're meeting the lineage of the people from the Game of Thrones. So you're like, oh, okay, I can see how this person came about because of this person in their lineage, right? So it's not necessary, but it's kind of cool. What else? Oh, so I'm listening to a sci-fi series, right? So it's called A Better Paradise. It's season 1. So A Better Paradise is kind of a bigger thing. It's going to be comics. It's going to be TV shows. It's going to be video games. But right now it kicks off with a podcast series, and it's made by Dan Houser. So he's one of the Houser brothers, right? The guys who created Grand Theft Auto, and Laszlo. So remember, if you listen to GTA 3 and on, Laszlo was the DJ. So Laszlo is a famous DJ, a radio persona, but he worked for Rockstar for like almost 20 years. I think he worked for Rockstar for 19 years. He did all of their radio and broadcast, all that stuff that's baked into there, right? He's a co-writer and things of that nature. So Laszlo is a pretty big name when it comes to GTA. He left them after Red Dead. So he didn't work on GTA 6 that's coming out, but he started this project with Dan Houser because the brothers parted ways amicably, right? I want to do my own stuff. I want to do something different, right? So one brother stayed on GTA, and then this brother's creating his own brand new like franchise, right? And it's near future. So it's like they keep jumping between 2031 and 2042. And basically, like what he says is that they always start off with parody, and then as they write, the parody becomes reality. So they wanted to take it a different direction this time. They wanted to go into the future to try to beat it. And they're already talking about, like, literally their parody is already stuff we're talking about with AI. It's kind of funny. He's like, the stuff we wrote is now becoming actual. So it's not parody. It's real life. But it's about a rogue AI. So basically, like, this company is doing stuff with AI. The government cracks down on them. And you're kind of getting the aftermath. So it's following different character stories. There's a lot of monologuing right now because they're kind of building up who these people are. So you're following a guy who's in the marketing department who was kind of like helping to brand this utopia they were making that obviously did not go well. And that's kind of my genre. I love that. And then you also follow the AI. So AI broke loose and you're getting stuff from the AI's perspective. And it's kind of funny because the AI is neurotic, and it's neurotic because it's learning about humans, and humans are neurotic by nature. So just the way it's starting to formulate ideas and opinions about people, like it loves people, but at the same time it hates people, and just the different dichotomy of what a person is. So it talks about, how people love and they hate love. It's pretty good. And you're just following these characters and trying to figure out like what happened. Like a lot of them are dead now. And you're like, is it because of the companies killing them, or is the AI finding ways to kill them? Like you're not exactly sure who the bad guy is right now. And I like it. So it's produced by Dan Houser, Laszlo, Andrew Lincoln. So he was Rick from The Walking Dead. So he's a character in his own voice. So I didn't know it was him because in Walking Dead he sounds like he's from the South. As a lot of British actors have that fake accent that sounds like they're Southern, but he's in his natural, UK accent. So I didn't know it was him. He's one of the main characters. It has a bunch of other personalities that are in there as well. It's 12 episodes. I'm on episode 3, I want to say 3 or 4, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm hoping that this does turn into a franchise and a game that I can play in the near future, because I just like that style of video game as well, right? Like I like their satirical, like this could be real. We're making fun of everybody type situation. So I'm interested to see what this compares to GTA, because GTA is one of my favorite franchises. So we'll see how that turns out. Aside from plugging that show that's not paying me, I went and I saw A Quiet Place with the family. So the whole family went out. We went to the B&B theater with the reclining seats and all that other cool stuff. And we saw A Quiet Place Day 1. So it's a prequel to the series. Very action oriented. So like the other ones were more suspense thrillers, and they dealt with the family. This one deals with a handful of characters, mainly 2. It's very intimate in that regard, but way more aliens and action. So it may appeal to people who are like, Quiet Place is kind of boring. So this one does have more stuff. It doesn't really answer too many questions, though. I was expecting to get a lot more out of it, being the day one. And it's cool showing like hours before it happens to it's happening, and then how people are dealing with it in such a large city like New York, as opposed to like middle America where the first 2 take place. I like it. I thought it was really good. But yeah, if you're going there for answers, you get something, but not really. And I'm excited for the third one. Like they have to make a third one because they have to wrap it up. Like we have to fight back. I need a Return of the Jedi, because so far we've just been losing. Like these 3 movies didn't work out well for us.
Isn't that reality though?
Yeah.
we are losing.
I almost
Yeah,
went to
but
see it yesterday.
they're not
I was like
smart though.
this close to watching it yesterday, but
It,
I
it
was
was. I really enjoyed it.
yeah. But my kid's sick, so by the time I got her down, I like all that stuff. I was like, it starts in 20 minutes. I'm like not gonna get to the theater in time, so I was like, I'll watch it. But you'd
Yeah,
recommend it? Ryan approved? Yeah.
I would say Ryan approved. Like, yeah, I think it's like if you're not about that action, there's a lot more of it in this one, but not like not like what I was hoping to see action wise. Like I want the third one for us to be out there mowing them down, and that's not happening. It's more action, like running away.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more of them. Like in the first two movies, you only see like one or two.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene in this one where there's a lot of them, and they're wreaking havoc. Like because they're not aliens in the sense that they eat you or they rip you apart or whatever. They just stomp you out. Like that's what these aliens do. I don't know if you've ever seen it, Shannon. Not to give too much away.
I really enjoyed the first Quiet Place. I haven't seen the second or third.
Second one was good.
I think the monsters. But I really like. I do need to watch those too.
They're
pretty cool.
They're aliens that don't like noise, and they come to a very noisy planet, which we believe to be by accident, right? Like there's a comet or something passing by, debris falls, and then all of a sudden they're stomping people out. They just don't like noise, so they land in this one. They land in New York, which at the very beginning it shows the city panned out, and it says the average noise in New York is 90 decibels. It's the same range as a person continuously screaming. So obviously they land there, they're not happy. So they're just right and left. They're ripping cars apart because they have car alarms. They're stomping people out. They just don't like noise. Yeah, so they squish a lot of people in this one. So it may be enjoyable. I liked it. And then I played a little bit of Final Fantasy. I'm still working my way through it. That game, there's just too much happening in it. I gotta not do a Tears of the Kingdom. I have to finish it. So I'm gonna continuously get through it. I'm enjoying myself, but a lot of people have complained to say that it's padded with too much stuff, and I'm trying to 100% it, and it is a lot of stuff. There's a lot of mini games. There's a lot of optional dialogue. I'm trying to get all of it because I only want to play it one time. It's a lot. It's going to be a 140-hour game probably. It's just so much stuff. But as a palate cleanser, I'm playing Dead Space Remake. So I shared a video, I think, in the chat, some gameplay. It's always fun. Like I Dead Space, the first game, the second game, I want to say. Yeah, so the first two games I really enjoyed. The third one was meh. They try to add multiplayer and psychosis. And
too much.
I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. Too much. But it's if you like movies like Alien or Predator, things of that nature, like that's what Dead Space is basically. You're stranded on a vessel, right? Spaceship that's been overrun by aliens of some sort that twist human bodies into weapons, basically. So
the whole thing takes place on that spaceship. The whole game takes place on that spaceship.
The first one, it takes place on just the Ishimura is the name of the ship. It's humongous because these ships are used to harvest materials from planets. So basically, they're planet killers. They go to a planet and they rip it apart and they take all the minerals out. So they're humongous ships. But then the second one takes place on planet side and in space. And that one's really good too. And then the third one, I think, was mostly planet side or something like that. I don't really remember it. It just wasn't that great. And you play an engineer. So your weapon is an engineering tool that you just retrofit to help you to kill these things. So it's fun. I'm really enjoying it. So if you have Game Pass, I definitely recommend playing a remake. Looks amazing. So like I was like, this looks better. Like, because usually when you play remakes, you're like, oh, this looks like I remember it. And then you go back and look at the old one, and you're like, oh, that looks like trash. This one out the gate looks amazing. You just like, yeah, they did a really good job remaking this one. So I highly recommend it. And the first iteration, the protagonist was silent. People just talked at him. And in this one, he actually has a voice and he talks back. So it's different. So it's been rebuilt, so to speak, as opposed to just a one-for-one copy. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, that and just playing around with podcasting stuff, right? I got this mic from my employer, so I've been hopefully it sounds better. And now I'm wearing headphones, so I'm trying to up the sound quality because that is some feedback I've been getting from people is that we're kind of echoey sometimes. So I'm trying to work on that. That's pretty much it, though. It's been a pretty good week going into 4th of July week / weekend, right? Because it falls on a Thursday this year.
Yeah.
So that's always interesting, right?
Friday off,
Because
everybody. If you don't have Friday off, take it.
yeah, definitely. Because it's always because nobody wants to do anything, right? They come back off of the whatever. If it's a Wednesday or Thursday holiday, they come back and they're like, "I am not doing nothing." I am no. If my employer's listening, I'll be working my butt off because I love work. Put that out there. But that's pretty much it, though. So thank you again for everybody joining. Right, I think it's the first time we've all been on at the same time, I believe.
Yep.
So it's definitely awesome. I can't wait to see how it comes out. And then, yeah, I think we covered a lot of really cool topics this week. A lot of people are listening more frequently. There's more people listening, so that's always cool. Interested to see what the feedback is. The newsletter is doing really well. So all in all, like 2024 is really, really, it's gangbusters, as the kids would say. It's the bee's knees. So it's due to you guys, bringing your personalities and your passion for the what we talk about. So I greatly appreciate that. So please continue to like, share, subscribe, hit us up on all the websites that go by our name, either the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or ask a CISSP. You can hit me up. I'm at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. You can find me on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, Threads, IG, TikTok, Medium, and I think I said LinkedIn. And where can I find you, Chris?
You can find me in LinkedIn under Chris Abicon, last name spelled A-Bacon.
There it is. And how can I find you, Daniel?
In LinkedIn under my name, it's not Chris Abicon, it's just Daniel Acevedo. Follow, send me a friend request or whatever. Let's link up.
There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure.